Hello, this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's really a very simple one. The only ink I'm using is Night of Navy. And I've got a little bit of the denim ribbon here. I think this is 6 inches. Yeah, around there, 6.5. And then a bow tied out of it. I'm going to be using Elegantly Said. I'm using this stamp here, this little stamp here, and I think for this one, I was going to use Thank You. I think I'm going to use For You instead of the Happy Anniversary. Let's see if I've got that one. I think I have. Oh, I do. Okay. Let's get that one instead. But you can use any sentiment you want, obviously. Happy birthday, whatever. Okay. So, for cardstock, 2.5 by 4 inch piece of white, 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of balmy blue, 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of Night of Navy, and 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 thick white scored and folded at 4 1/4. The reason I chose balmy blue, I could have cut out a rectangle out of the Night of Navy. I wanted to bring in one other color, and this color, this is a true blue, it's not a green blue, so I brought in the balmy blue because it's the lighter colors, it's closely related in color family. Excuse me. Alright, let's get started here. Let's start on this piece, and that's 2.5 by 4 inches. I'm bring in this stamp. I'm going to bring in Night of Navy ink. Ink that up well, just tap it. Move it around the ink pad. Make sure it's good and inked. I think I need to re-ink this pad. I'm going to stamp that right in the center. And you notice I turn my paper so that it's easier for me to get where I need to be. Straight down. Give it a little firm, even pressure. Let it sink into the paper. And straight up. Okay. I'm going to take this one. It looked like a butterfly to me, so that's what I'm going to use it for. Ink that up. Caught the edge here, so I don't have a paper towel here. So I'm going to catch that, wipe that off if I can. And I'm going to stamp that up here. Straight down. Straight up. Sentiment, For You. Not sure this one had been used yet. Down here on this corner. Perfect. Set that aside for a minute. Let's bring in this piece. And I need a piece of scrap paper, so and this one is 4 by 5 1/4. I don't need all these. Let's just bring one piece in. It lays a little flatter. This is a piece of paper from my printer that I folded in half. Okay, now I'm going to use this stamp again. I'm going to stamp all the way around the edges. Turn it a little bit each time. And I'm turning the paper as well. I'm not getting the leaf part, I'm mostly just getting the flower part. couple more here. Okay, that one overlapped a little, but that's alright. Okay, now we can assemble this card. Alright, this piece is going to get mounted to the Knight of Navy. It's a little bit wet. I'm going to turn it over in. Alright, so I'm going to use this wet glue. My Knight of Navy piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. A little bit more glue than I normally use, but there's going to be an 1/8 of an inch border because it's a 1/4 inch difference in size. And this will get mounted right to the front of our card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. That's more like what I normally use. This is the same size as the front of the card. Should be. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the For You part. I'm going to mount it to my balmy blue. 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Again, there's a 1/4 inch difference. So it's an 1/8 of an inch border. I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. I just realized I forgot a step. I should have put the ribbon on behind the Knight of Navy before I mounted it to the card. I don't know if I can get it off now. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different. Let me get some more of my ribbon. Normally what I would do is put it around the back of the Knight of Navy and tape it on the back so I'm not using as much ribbon. But since I forgot to do that, I'm going to bring in my snips, a pair of snips. I'll figure out where I want that ribbon to be. And on this edge over here, I'm going to cut a little snip. Actually, I'm going to use a punch. I'll be right back. This is retired. It's a 1/2 inch circle punch, but I'm going to use it. Just going to come in on this edge. Just going to snip the tiniest little bit, just so that I have a place to put the ribbon through. You'll see it makes a little hole there, so I can slide the ribbon through. Okay, a little bit more. Not as good as at tying bows on the things, but that's not too bad. twist, so let's untwist it. A ribbon snips. Okay, now let's take the backings off of this. Okay, and I'm going to mount that right in the center. There you go. There's the card I just made with you. Here's the one I did previously. It said happy anniversary instead of for you. This could be for anything. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.